Murloc's lab. Here we are. Murloc's lab. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. Where do we even start? No kidding. I don't know how we're gonna investigate all this. There's bound to be really important info about Unitas in here. Yeah, hope we can find a card key too. What are these, like rubber bands? No, like cables and stuff. Voice recorder. It seems to have more than one recording on it. What do we listen to first? Research arrangements. Recording titled Research Arrangements. Let's hear it. Is it voice acted? Whoa. Okay, any second. Okay.
Subject, research arrangements. I informed Howard that I would like to resume Emma's final research project. It focused on coexistence with Pokémon, the Unitas project. I also pointed out that conducting such research would require a proper facility. Naturally, I suggested we name this new facility the Unitas Lab. Howard was rather taken with that name.
Amazing choice of music here.
Proposal immediately. And with that, all obstacles to my research have been removed.
Wow. Murloc was the one who suggested to Mayor Myers to restart Emma's research? Been involved with all this right from the start. Hey. Which recording do you want to listen to? Probably research arrangements. The track titled Cube Presentation. Let's hear it. Alright.
Report subject, cube presentation. I gave my presentation about the cubes to Howard today. He seemed concerned about the strain they may put on Pokémon. But in the end, he understood that some side effects here and there are simply unavoidable. Now we can continue development without looking over our shoulders. Once production is going smoothly, I plan to move on to the project I've kept on the back burner until now.
Oh, his real project is the stuff with Deoxys then, right? And the cube is just like, you know, the main cover project while also getting a whole bunch of Pokemon under his control. While he could work on, like, his real passion. Papa knew the side effects that Pokemon would face, but he still didn't stop the plan. No, he was at least worried about them. Ah, yes, that goes a long way. Nothing else. That shows there's kindness in him. I don't know that the same can be said for Murloc. The recording paints a pretty clear picture of what kind of person he is. Ah, so the mayor is a good person deep down, but Murloc's a truly bad guy, is the way that this plot is gonna go. Hey. What do you want to listen to? None. I had a bad feeling about Murloc from the moment we met him, but I didn't realize he was this terrible. I did. His research hurts Pokemon. He's pushing forward with such enthusiasm. We have to stop him somehow.
Yes.
Tim, about that voice recorder you found earlier. Papa's trying really hard to protect me, isn't he? Seems that way, yeah. The way he's doing that is robbing Pokemon of their freedom. How does he not realize that would never make me happy? Yeah, honestly. It's tempting to say he's a failure as a father if his actions make his daughter sad. Maybe he's decided that was a price he was willing to pay, as long as he could protect her. It's gonna do something that redeems him at the end, I'd bet. Where they get to live happily, the two of them. You know. I'd bet you. Think all you can do is tell him exactly how you feel, Rachel, and that's gonna change his mind. And stuff, because it's a Pokemon story. What's this? A bunch of different information scribbled on here. Handwriting's awful. This is gonna be hard to decipher. It's hard to tell exactly, but it looks like summaries of a few different things. Let's read each one carefully. By distributing cubes. Yeah, yeah, we'll see how saturated it ends up getting here. This note looks like it was scrawled in a hurry. In order to promote the widespread use of cubes throughout the world, we must highlight the dangers Pokemon pose to humans. News stories that reveal famous and popular Pokemon to actually be dangerous are especially effective at achieving this. So manipulating the media. Arguments that were made better in Captain Laserhawk. For example, Detective Pikachu. That explains a lot. I am pretty famous in Rhyme City. News got out that I destroyed that Slowpoke statue. People in the city would probably start feeling less safe. Right. Which would lead more and more people to believe the cubes are necessary. Good thing we were able to prove your innocence before that story made the news. You're telling me. Still, now I wonder. Is that the only reason they detained me? To take you out before you could, you know, investigate too much. Writing over here is just as sloppy. Can you read it, Tim? Let's see. I have no concerns with using Butler. If anything goes wrong in the PPB, the responsibility will fall entirely on him. But yeah. And yeah, when it comes to, you know, having someone take the fall and be a scapegoat and stuff like that, I know that that's like a big plot point in Metal Gear Solid 3. Like, I know I haven't played through the whole thing yet, and that's kind of spoilers, but, you know, just from like my general overview knowledge of the game. I'm fairly sure it's from when I was first starting the Metal Gear series on the channel. I looked up like the general timeline and therefore like best order to play the games. So I know that that's like one of the big themes in that game. And, you know, that game expresses it a whole lot better as well. Butler is the former chief of the Pokemon Protection Bureau. So, Butler was working with Murloc as well, huh? In fact, I'm fairly certain my first part of Metal Gear Solid 3 just went up today. There's only gonna be 4 parts, and then we're just waiting for the remake. Yeah, I have seen it. It looked pretty nice. About Pikachu. There's some stuff written about you here, Pikachu. Judging by the handwriting, Murloc must have been pretty worked up when he wrote it. Project Detective Pikachu, Phase 1. Meet the specimen in person and measure its vitals. Project Detective Pikachu, Phase 2. Receive the specimen from the PPB. Project Detective Pikachu Phase 3. Extract the energy from the specimen. Receive the specimen? Guess that's referring to when the PPB was detaining me. Maybe they did something to me when I was being controlled by the cube and had no idea what was going on. I managed to stop them from delivering you to Unitas. Murloc's plan is still moving forward. Whoa. Is the best order to play the Metal Gear games that you haven't played them yourself and you want to? Just release order. Like, the timeline order jumps around a bit, but it seems like it is release order. Because, like, even things that take place earlier in the timeline, released later, will sometimes make reference to things that, you know, were revealed in some of the earlier released games that take place later in the timeline, and it's how things will make most sense, because it's, you know, the way the story was written. So, like, there's 2 that follow the story of the big boss Snake, and then those are 3 and 5, and the others are just, like, Solid Snake. So, Metal Gear 1 and 2, then Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4 are the Solid Snake ones, and then 3 and 5 are the big boss ones. So, like, doing them in that order is like, hey, you follow the timeline in a straight order, but you take a blast to the past in 3 and 5. Is essentially how it goes, from what I've gathered, so I'm just playing them in release order. So stuff on the whiteboard is all about when you were detained at the police station. Yep, so it appears. Oh yeah, maybe they want the Mewtwo stuff, or they want to figure out how they can put, like, human consciousnesses into Pokemon. Maybe it's like the movie, and they want to use Pikachu as a specific case, or something? I don't know. Here's just had me. Oh! What do you bet Mr. Scientist Guy wants to put his mind into Deoxys? And that's why he's interested in Pikachu here. Like, he knows that there's a connection between the two. So, like, he's using the whole Cube project as, like, his cover project, the thing that gives him control over a whole lot of Pokemon and gives him like a whole lot of revenue, while he focuses on like his main project, which is like waking up Deoxys and using Pikachu as a case here to shove his consciousness into Deoxys. In the movie, the plot line was the main big bad shoved his consciousness into Mewtwo, was the case. So what do you bet this just took like that plot idea of the movie, but instead was like, we can't just do Mewtwo exactly like the movie. You know, we gotta change it up. How about Deoxys instead? Deoxys is another humanoid and uber powerful Pokemon. What do you bet? Yeah, this is still movie better, but you just had me arrested to make it look like Pokemon are dangerous. That's my new prediction, is that he wanted to use Pikachu as a use case for research, and he wants to become Deoxys. I'd bet you now. That's where my money's on now. What did that part about extracting the energy from you mean? It's me. Papers we read earlier mentioned energy in Dad's body too. Murloc seemed to be gathering energy from a variety of sources. What's he planning to do with it? Believe it, because that's cool. Yeah, that might actually be a kind of interesting direction, if that's what it does. Even if it is basically what happened in the movie. But yeah, so similar to Xenoblade 1 and 2, where you can play 2 just fine as a timeline, not after Xenoblade 1, but still references Xenoblade 1 spoilers and thus spoils it indirectly. Yeah, like there's the bit in chapters, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has 10 chapters, and there's a bit in chapter 7 where if you've played the first game, it reveals that the two are connected, and it's like, oh, there's that connection, but what does it mean? And you have to keep playing the game to figure it out. But if you do 2 and then 1, like, you don't get anything like that. Apparently, that's what it's like for Metal Gear, from what I've heard, so... You know, that was the way to go. There's another room back there. Wait, huh? What is it, Tim? See something? Are those photos of Dad and Pikachu? Yeah, he figured it out. Pikachu is Dad. Didn't he?
Why is there a picture of you in there, Pikachu?
And there's the gem with Deoxys and stuff.
I'm guessing it
Oh,
doesn't
never mind.
belong
No,
to
that's
an adoring
Harry.
fan.
Yeah, that would
Better
be the
look
Harry
into
picture.
this.
Should have figured.
Mhm.
This back room wasn't on the map. Of course, there's a window right to it. If a back room wasn't on the map, you'd think you'd want to keep it secret. And there's a window and a door leading right into it. Murloc wanted to keep it a secret. And yeah, it's the mugshot there. Seems likely. I want to get a good look around in there. What do you bet I can't get in through here right now? Door's locked with the passcode. So looking for numbers again.
Well,
Like, so enter the passcode to open the door. So looking for numbers again. There's numbers right there on the board. What, do we need a 4-digit passcode though? I don't know.
well,
I saw numbers, but what do I know? These look like experiment reports. Ish, I can barely read the handwriting. There are sticky notes stuck all over the place. Maybe we can read just the most important points. We need to write energy experiments. I need a more effective method of extracting energy from the meteorites. Yeah, what do they mean? Tremendous amounts of high purity energy is required to activate the Aurora drop. Huh. More research material on the meteorites, like we found on floor B2. Based on my recent experiments, I was able to lay out a plan and achieve the final goal. All that remains is to order the operations team to collect a sufficient amount of meteorites. So those goons we ran into at the ruins were acting under Murloc's orders. But what's his final goal he's talking about? I can't tell from the document. I've been wondering that myself. Yeah, or we could try kicking the door down. It'd probably be a pretty tough door, but conducted an experiment in which I exposed the Aurora drop to energy from the meteorites. It was a success. The Aurora drop showed clear signs of activation. However, only a fragment of the whole was activated. I must trigger this activation throughout the entirety of the Aurora drop. Doing so will necessitate more experiments. Wants to activate the Aurora drop? Because it really isn't just an ordinary jewel. The energy of the meteorites and the Aurora drop. Apparently, he'll be able to activate the Aurora drop if he keeps up his research on those two things. But the report doesn't say what that means. What'll happen when the Aurora drop is activated? What exactly is Murloc trying to accomplish with this research? It's gotta have something to do with that final goal he wrote about. Well, we've searched the whole room, but we still haven't found the door passcode. Both the numbers on the whiteboard in that back room. Yeah, that's what I thought. Gotta be worth a shot at least. So 200122. Yeah. Yeah, 200122. That right? Yeah.
perfect.
Wow, talk about a secure room. That's it. The door opened. Now we can take a look around in the back room. This lab must be Murloc's as well. I love how, just to make sure that you don't forget the passcode into a room, you write the passcode in the room itself, and you can peer through a window into the room to see it. Yeah, probably. What's going on in here? There's some high-tech equipment in here, along with a photo of you, Pikachu. This room's got a totally different vibe from the others. Yeah, you said it. Let's take a good, thorough look around, Tim. I thought it might be cutscene, but they just needed to fade to black to teleport Rachel in here. This looks like some equipment for conducting experiments. Seems like he was mixing two substances together. Can't tell what kind of experiments he was doing from this alone, though.
Yes.
This room feels so different from the others. What kind of experiments has he been doing in here? That's what we're here to find out. This is definitely a picture of you, Pikachu. What the heck does all this mean? Let's take a look and see if there's anything else here. Photo of Harry and Pikachu. Red Dead Redemption, on the other hand, you've heard it's better to play the games in backwards order because it's a prequel. If you play the first game first, you can kind of piece together who dies in the game and who lives to see the next game based on who doesn't show up in the first game. I mean, that's the order that we'll be playing, like, the Fire Emblem Roy and Ellawood games. Like, we already played Fire Emblem 7, and then we're going to play Fire Emblem 6 next, going in story order rather than release order. But apparently Metal Gear is best done in release order, what I've heard. The luck is seriously starting to creep me out. Pictures of me and Pikachu posted up in his room. What's up with that? Not to mention stealing Dad's body and keeping it somewhere in this building. I mean, they're both technically photos of you. In fact, he's got these photos of me, or Harry, and Pikachu right next to each other. Makes you wonder if Murlock's already figured it out. Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Figured out what? That my consciousness is in Pikachu's body. No way. Not. Why has he been targeting me so persistently? Yeah, he definitely is trying to do that with Deoxys, isn't he? I can barely read what's written here. Meteorite, roar drop, human. That's all I can make out. It seems like the energy from the meteorites is pretty important. Numbers! 200122 and 170608. So is that a passcode to something else? Pretty careless of him to display the door passcode so prominently. Wondering more about the number we haven't used yet. It could also be a passcode, but I can't say for sure. Let's say Murloc really has figured out your secret, Pikachu. Just what was he planning to do with you after he captured you? Figure out how to do it himself? Guess is as good as mine. Sit down to B5 and look for Harry's body. Seeing up close might help us figure this all out. That's why he wanted it. Got a weird feeling about this lab, Tim. Let's give it a thorough search. Right. Okay, where should we start looking? What? Oh, I guess I'm looking closer here. Oh, then the music changes. Oh, there's another audio thing. This document's titled Shutting Down the Fusion Machine. Fusion machine? What kind of machine is that? No idea. All it says here is how to stop it. Shut down the machine in an event of an emergency. Remove the power cable. Ah, yes. That's it. Yeah, that's all it says. Judging from the messy writing, whoever jotted this down must have been in a hurry. More of a memo than a document, if you ask me. He's trying to fuse, isn't he? You think this voice recorder also belongs to Murloc? Yeah, that might have some important information. Let's give it a listen after this. I have to inspect everything here first. Yeah, this strip looks like it was made in Gmod. This document was written by Mayor Myers. This looks like a scene that you'd see in, like, Prop Hunt or something. The title is Coexistence Plan for Rhyme City. It also says confidential. It's like it contains a schedule for distributing the cubes throughout the city. Chima looks better than this? Yeah, maybe. Howard's plan. It says the mayor will make an announcement about the cubes on the last day of Pokemon Friendship Week. Guess that settles it. That revolutionary device that's been making news lately is definitely the cubes. There's a draft of his speech in here too. I'll read it. Citizens of Rhyme City, allow me to once again express my plans for our mutual home. I aim to foster a city in which people and Pokemon can live together in peace and safety. For many of you, the R incident of 2 years ago was an unprecedented hardship. I assure you, no one knows that hardship better than I do. The Rhyme City will not stop moving forward. As a testament to our commitment to mutual coexistence between people and Pokemon, we've created a truly revolutionary device. And so, on this last day of Pokemon Friendship Week, it is my honor to finally unveil to you the Friendship Cube. Papa. By Friendship Cube, he means the control cubes, right? That's right. He's planning to distribute these cubes that can control Pokemon all over the city. Can't let him deliver that speech he's got planned. Guess that's not a thing to inspect there. Inspect whatever is over here. These papers are completely covered in sloppily scribbled equations. Are they? Are they? Oh, that one that my camera was blocking. I was looking at the one that black pen was on. They look, complicated. Yeah, this all means absolutely nothing to me. Yeah. Friendship Cube, think allows to gotta sue someone. Hey, it's different enough to Companion Cube. But yeah, I'm curious what are some more unique games that you've played that you enjoyed as you kind of want to try some unique games like Outer Wilds. Have you played that and Undertale and such? I've not played Outer Wilds, but it was one of the games like on the list of ones I considered like playing to do a game analysis on. Was the case. It was on my mental list because it was one of the ones that the prof gave us the option to analyze. So I might check it out at some point. Some kind of experiment report. Read it to us, Tim. The experiment was a failure. I don't know really much about it apart from the music. I know a few remixers that have made some really good remixes out of it. To make two become one, the proper balance of energy is absolutely critical. Yeah, that is his goal, isn't it? Too much or too little will result in failure. Making adjustments will be difficult, but necessary. But I can do this. I know I can do this. Only I can make two become one. Become one? Is he trying to fuse two things together? Proper balance of energy is absolutely critical. Literally underline this part for emphasis. Yeah, going completely blind is a very unique experience. Maybe I will at one point. There's nothing else to investigate here. Off the top of my head, I won't be able to remember a whole lot of stuff. But if you literally just go to the channel and click on playthroughs, you can see like all the playthroughs on the channel. And if you see like anything that's like pretty short and seems intriguing, then like, hey, there's a short playthrough there. And chances are I would have enjoyed it. Probably. I mean, not always. I mean, yeah. I organize all the playthroughs here in reverse chronological order. So, you know, Detective Pikachu's still pretty high because it's like a pretty recent thing. But, Firewatch was really good. You know. That was a short thing. Right there. Quite enjoyed Metal Gear. Hey, play Snake's Revenge. That's a short game right there. There's Pepsi Man. How silly it is. You know. All sorts of stuff there. I don't know. Deer Simulator was pretty wacky. Real spiritual journey there, I have to say. I don't know what else is like a short kind of fun thing. Snake's Revenge is so good. Where's Snake's Revenge? Oh, there it is. Snake's Revenge, Metal Gear 2. There it is. Beautiful game right there. Absolutely stellar. To the Moon's pretty good. I quite like that. Apparently there was some DLC that came out for this game with like additional stories, and I never played it, and now this playthrough was like how long ago? Like 2 years ago? So it'd be kind of weird to, you know, suddenly hop into the DLC 2 years later for like a game that I only did one stream of because it was so short, and you know, most people on the channel probably have no idea what that is there. Oh yeah, I made a special title card for Halloween 2021. Maybe I should do that for 2023 with Luigi's Mansion here. Maybe what I should do. I don't know, man. Thing that's short. I did Soma for a Halloween. That was kind of crazy. Soma stuff. Maybe I really should get up to doing more short games. You know, the KFC dating simulator was pretty good there. Never heard of To the Moon? It was made by, doesn't have to be short at all. Oh. To the Moon. I'll still sing its praises anyway. The music was done by the same person that did the music for Plants vs. Zombies, Laura Shigihara, who also made the game Rakuen. So, whoops. What? Because it's on the last page here that hasn't been loaded yet? Yep. There's Rakuen. Laura Shigihara, the one that did the music for Plants vs. Zombies, made this game that I really quite like, and she also did the music for To the Moon, which I thought was pretty nice. I mean, I love me the Sly Cooper games and stuff. Recently replaying this, you know, that's always a timeless classic right there. And stuff. Can never go wrong with that. Fire Emblem's always fun. Tears of the Kingdom was a good game. I loved Pikmin 4. This was a good game, but a really bad version of it. The PC version was not great. Octopath was fun. Mr. Saito is kind of like a spiritual successor to Rakuen there. And stuff kind of expands on those things and all that. The Nier games were interesting, but I don't know if they were quite my cup of tea. This was fun. I look forward to playing Odyssey here in the nearest future. Yeah, Snake's Revenge. I actually really liked Persona 5, but my god, it was the longest single playthrough of a game I've ever done. 265 parts. My god. But yeah, it came out this February. Was the case, I think, right? Or was it March? Yeah, March was the case. They released it shortly after the show came out. And of course, they released it in a very unfinished state, just trying to capitalize off the success of the show. The Last of Us PC port is so bad, it's hilarious. Oh yeah, it was pretty good. I'll see if I have time. The final semester is gonna be like really busy. So, you know, this was a video game right here. But yeah, that was Last of Us Part 1 on PC. It was quite the spiritual journey. But yeah, we'll see if I have time. I wasn't sure how much time I would have for streaming during my last year of university here anyway, because I had to cram in a whole bunch of stuff. I have time this semester because I'm taking 2 classes right now. It's all I need. I'm taking 3 classes next semester, which is still like far from a full course load. A full course load is 5. But 2 of them are gonna keep me really busy. Maybe all 3 of them. I don't know how busy the third one's gonna keep. How busy it's gonna keep me. But one of them is going to be making like an entire short indie game throughout the semester. So I'm going to need to be working on that pretty actively. I might even stream some of my progress, like I did with my game that I made several years ago in a similar game design class. And another one is a one-on-one research project I'm doing with one of the professors. So, because stuff like, oh yeah, I still had this pulled up. Because stuff like this is coming out, like, while I'm in the middle of that semester, it's, you know, a little bit, it's in sketchy territory. I might not have as much time. We'll see what I get there. I have time this semester, but, you know, we'll see and stuff. Well, you're gonna handle 5 college classes this semester? Yeah. I did in my first year of university, and I was like, my god, I'm not doing this again. You know? But yeah. On Unity or Godot? Probably RPG Maker of all things, because it's a class that brings in students from all sorts of different faculties, like faculty of music, faculty of arts, faculty of writing, for the different roles. I assume that it'll be the same way as my initial game design project, which, you know, you can't even find in the playlists here. But if you search it up, this is what, okay, that's what it was there. 3 years ago, there was this project here, and this was an RPG Maker, and I assume that the next thing we're probably will be an RPG Maker as well, because it brings in people from all these different faculties. Like, how the teams were laid out in this earlier game design class, which was like the first main one in this degree that I'm doing, is you were supposed to have 3 programmers, that would I guess be from like Faculty of Science, 1 writer, that would typically be from Faculty of Writing, or English, or whatever the faculty is called. You'd have like 1 composer, that would typically be from Faculty of Music, and 1 artist that's typically from Faculty of Arts. Our team composition was a little bit different. We had 1 less programmer and 1 more artist, so there was a little bit more of a workload on me and the other programmer. This is way harder to make than I thought it would be. You know, I've kind of swept this under the rug since you can't find the playlist anywhere. You can only find it by searching up, but yeah, there that is. So that was the first game design class. That's like, hey, starting out game development, here's something that we're making at beginner level. And this one that's gonna be this next semester is like the final class. That's like, here, taking all your knowledge now, make something that's like a whole lot better and stuff. But I assume it'll be something like that as well. And we used RPG Maker so that even the non-programmers could contribute and understand the code if they wanted to, you know. So it wouldn't be something exclusively for the programmers to be able to handle, you know. Was kind of the reasoning behind that. Though, they did say in this class, like, if you want full marks in this class, make something that's non-RPG in RPG Maker. So we did, like, a stealth exploration adventure thing. I don't know how to describe it. It was a stealth game, you know, was the case. But apparently, the game design class I'm in right now, people that took it last semester told me that they were allowed to use Unity last semester. We weren't allowed to use Unity when I took it, but apparently last semester they were allowed to use Unity. So I don't know, maybe we'll use Unity or something like that. And yeah, there is that. You know, a small project like this would never have to worry about, you know, making so much sales that they need to worry about being in legal trouble with Unity, but now no one wants to use it. You know, so there's that. And all that nonsense. But yeah, so there's that. And yeah, maybe I'll check out Outer Wilds at some point here. Godot is free and open source. Interesting. Well, we'll see what the options are when we do this class. But yeah, that's my, that's some of my general game stuff there. I don't know. Whoops. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon's always really good. Quite like that. Paper Mario's fun. Looking forward to Paper Mario Thousand Year Door coming up here. Tales of Arise was pretty cool, and it's getting a DLC, like, a couple of years later now. When did this first come out? This came out, yeah, 2021, September 2021. So that was over 2 years ago, and it's getting a DLC literally 2 weeks from now, November 9th. Which is interesting. You know, there's that. So I'll look forward to playing that. I don't remember a whole lot about the story of Tales of Arise anymore, but I remember it being a fun game there. I don't know. I like Bravely Default and Bravely Second. I don't like Bravely Default 2. I don't know. I don't know. Stuff like that. Those are some cool things there. But yeah, in case anyone ever wants to see like all the games that have been done on the channel, like that's where you find the list and stuff. But yeah, hello Rico Man. I've been pretty alrighty. I was feeling pretty sleepy during this investigation, but now that we're talking about all sorts of stuff, like it's keeping me more awake and it's prevented me from passing out in the middle of playing this game. But yeah, and it's so well optimized you can literally send Godot to you over Discord, not joking? Like, is a small enough file size? What? Also, folk from any indie are making how to port from Unity to Godot amidst the incident. Oh, interesting. We should listen to this voice recorder. Surprising what games have been getting DLC recently. Even a lot of really old, decade-old games have oddly been getting DLC recently. Huh. Like, it used to be for a long time, you release DLC for a game, it's gonna be like within the next year after release. But then a situation like this where it's like, yeah, it's been over 2 years since release and a new DLC gets announced. I was like, oh, interesting. Small enough file size. Go actually based. That actually sounds kind of cool. Definitely. Got 3 tracks on it. Which would you like to hear? Research data. This one is titled Research Data. Let's hear it. Sure thing. Let's have a bit of a listen here. Animal? Okay.
Research data. Approximately 6 months prior to the.
But yeah, if I had to choose one thing that I've been getting into more recently that I'd recommend that I think is pretty cool, probably Metal Gear. That's been like my new series I've been getting into.
Pokemon as we please.
Looking forward to playing Metal Gear Solid 2 in a week from now.
This is the greatest discovery of the century. But it was not possible at that stage of my research to make my hypothesis a reality. More information was required. Since then, I've searched relentlessly for the missing piece of the puzzle. Until at last, I found it in the research that Emma had previously conducted.
The emotion in his voice, amazing.
Insisted that I stop, but that was no concern of mine. I took the first opportunity to scour the research facility, but by that point, Emma's data was nowhere to be found. Jessica did this.
My god, is this voice acting boring?
Nothing to find Jessica and retrieve the data she took.
What?
Like, you know, I've never really done any professional voice acting stuff, but I feel like if I was, like, going hard, I could probably deliver it better than that. My tones that I do when I'm just playing and reading text is not me going hard, you know, this is me casually going through. But, you know, I feel like if I went at it, I could make that more interesting. But, you know, no game that came out in 2015 that just got DLC this year or last year. Oh, jeez. Jessica targeted and Emma's data stolen, also he could work on his new research. It's so awful.
Hey.
What do you want to listen to? Yeah, it's... Yeah. This one's titled Finding Jessica. Ready to listen to some more?
Report subject. Finding Jessica. I had not expected Pikachu and his allies to show up in Bamboo Burrow.
Do I really need to turn off my camera for these cutscenes?
We did manage to find
matter,
Jessica
man.
and retrieve the research
Turn off for
data.
one in case I used a thumbnail.
Now that the
turn off for
last
the rest.
piece of the
Same
puzzle
scene
is
every
in
time.
my possession, my research is finally complete.
He sounds so excited about it.
I can conduct simulations of linking minds.
He got really close to his microphone there, didn't he? Oh, man. Huh? Simulations of linking minds? Yeah, it totally is what he's doing, isn't it? For Murloc's goal is. I don't think it's good.
Hey.
Which recording do you want to listen to? Proving my hypothesis. There's one titled Proving My Hypothesis. Let's see what we can learn. My
Report
goal is
subject.
finally in
Proving
reach,
my
he goes.
hypothesis. I did it. I finally did it.
Oh, that's better. That's a better
To
delivery.
become one. That is the answer. To become one.
Okay, now he's doing better.
This is definitive proof that my hypothesis was correct.
Now he's getting more
I
emotion in
wish
there.
I could have shown this to Emma and Jessica. The cubes are nothing more than toys now.
Okay, that he actually did pretty well. It's just his normal talking that's boring as hell. And, like, super emotionless. He's using my mom's research for his own ends. What is wrong with that man? Couldn't agree more. Yeah, the more he's deranged, the more his mouth is closer to the voice recorder. You mean the microphone? I'm not trying to make something even worse than the cubes, but yeah, it did sound like he was getting closer, you know. But yeah, good Dovetail games, and they're over $10,000 of Train Simulator Classic DLC. Oh boy. Murloc's trying to make something even worse than the cubes. Yeah, we've got to stop him.
Hey.
He's trying to become Deoxys, I bet you. Listening to those recordings, Murloc sounded unhinged. I'm surprised you didn't say, like, deranged, like a more formal term. Just, like, casually drop unhinged here. But yeah, not over it. Never be over it. He's getting awfully excited by the thought of achieving whatever his wild dream he has. Maybe his goal really is what was in the going live notification all this time. Like, hold on. If I pull this up again. Maybe this random meme that I chose for the going live notification today, maybe it really was his goal. Except rather than riding on Deoxys, he wants to be Deoxys. And he just wants to say, fuck it, I'm going to space. You know? Like, that's, that's what this is building to, isn't it? According to him, cubes are just toys compared to whatever he's cooking now. I wonder if the mayor is even aware of what Murloc's up to. There's a lot we still don't know. At least we have a better idea of why Jessica was targeted. I think if Murloc wanted to keep it secret from, like, Unitus and the mayor and stuff like that, maybe he wouldn't be recording these. But yeah. Yeah, there was that. Well, not the big picture stuff of what Murloc was actually up to. There's no way that you would be able to realistically guess that, you know, Murloc was trying to become Deoxys at the beginning of the game. I mean, I guess there's the rumors that the gem was actually a Pokemon, and there's Murloc that's like, I'm your #1 fan, and I took some of Pikachu's fur. So maybe you could deduce it. Especially if you piece together, like, yeah, he's clearly part of the big bads, and he wanted Pikachu's fur for some reason, and wanted Harry's body for some reason. I guess, like, a talented enough deducer could have deduced it earlier. But yeah. Yeah, the stuff with the mayor, and, like, the whole government conspiracy and stuff like that, that's fair enough. Still a lot we don't know, but at least we have a better idea of why Jessica was targeted. Right. Let's take a moment to digest all this information and make some deductions.
Okay, let's start deducing.
Let's start deducing.
Hmm.
Find enough clues? They need research data that Jessica had. Yeah. Figured that out like an hour ago. More than that, didn't we? Murloc needed the research data Jessica was holding on to. Jessica had Emma's research data. That's why she was targeted. That data is being used to research something other than the cubes. I've got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, he wants to go Deoxys, he wants to become Deoxys and go to space. That is what he's doing. Unitus, no, Murloc is willing to do whatever it takes to pursue his research. We've gotta do something. Oh, cutscene time?
Hey, got a moment?
No.
What is it?
I think we should organize our findings so far.
Is this where they're gonna piece together that he wants to become Deoxys?
Yeah, let's lay it out.